It's 2 hours before kickoff, and the gates open.
Once gates open, I begin walking the building.
That's Michael Jordan, a different Michael Jordan. He works for Sodexo Live, the catering company for Michigan athletics. Since the big house has so little room to move inside, Michael set up water stations and shipping container food stands outside.
It's really allowed us to expand our footprint of the stadium.
The new layout has been a huge success. Total food and drink transactions are up over 13% from last year, increasing the stadium's revenue by 11%. Michael says that's thanks in part to simpler menus and a better flow in the concourses. Constant communication on walkie-talkies also helps the team keep the food moving.
With 100,000 people with cell phones in the area, service just kind of drops to nothing.
Across the stadium, workers are scooping popcorn out of trash cans, prepping pretzels, and finishing burgers.
There's no playing catch-up when there's 100,000 people in the building.
By now, lines are starting to form.
We are a really busy stand. I don't know. They love it.
Hot dogs are the stadium's #1 seller. It moves about 10,000 of them each game. Concessions move quickly. Servers aim to get food to customers in under a minute. Speed helps the culinary team hit its $1 million sales target each game.
And that's just in food and beverage. We're still not serving alcohol in the stadium.
This year, the university has one fewer home game. That means it's set to miss out on nearly $9 million in ticket sales, which makes food earnings all the more important. New ordering systems have helped speed up some concessions. Self-checkout averages just 18 seconds a transaction, and it's helped this burger stand double sales this year. Now it's crunch time.
So about 15 minutes before kickoff will be our first really big push.
Staying here all day because they're all happy.
Finally, the action on the field kicks off. But the food doesn't stop rolling.
And then halftime is definitely our biggest push.
You're not walking around with this. You're mid. We score a touchdown, boom, popcorn goes flying. It's like shooting confetti out, but it's popcorn.
Michigan pulls off a win against Rutgers, but the Chefs' game day isn't over.
I tend to hang all the way through to the very bitter end. And once it gets to the end of the game, there's no leaving until they're all gone. So you're just in it.
It's not uncommon for staffers to pull 12-hour shifts.
I mean, a lot of them are here more than they're at home. It's amazing they keep coming back. Dempsey, don't smile like that.
Michael says that's why finding the right team is important.
It's hard to hire 700 people for an event for 7 times a year.
About 500 of these workers are actually volunteers from local charities. Sodexo Live donates a percentage of food sales to their causes. The catering company pays only about 200 of them, including the chefs and servers. They make between $30 and $50 an hour. Chris does one final walkthrough of the now quiet suites.
Well, we've reached 3 o'clock. For me, I'm about 14 hours in on the day.
He's assessing waste.
Chili, they've gone through about half of it. The wings are gone. Handful of hot dogs, handful of veggie brats left. But when the day is done, the trash can never lies.
He'll use this info to tweak food ordering for the next game.
It's a giant stadium, and so you're going to have excess.
Volunteers pack up all the extra food to be donated to local pantries.
We're in the range of about 5,000 items a game of what they're picking up.
Then they gear up to come back in a few weeks and do it all over again.
I mean, I'd mark this one down as probably a solid B+, maybe an A-. Looking forward to the next 3 to go.
Lavish menus are also a big part of the Derby. And behind the scenes, a team of cooks is racing against the clock.
Each day has about 40 different menus track-wide.
Chef Robert Lopez runs a kitchen of 100 executive chefs and 1,500 supporting staff. That's not a lot of people, considering they're serving 400,000 guests in under a week. So that's 7 Super Bowls worth of food.
We bring in chefs from all over the country.
The team has to stay relatively small because they're working in tight quarters. They're ordering 10,000 pounds of smoked brisket and thousands of chicken breasts from local farms, and 1,000 pounds of cheese. Most of it arrives just days before the Derby in about 1,100 semi-trucks. Some of it gets here on race day at about 4 a.m.
So how do you keep yourself going through that?
Lots of caffeine.
And then there are the drinks. The mint juleps are the best seller. They bring in about $2.5 million in sales.
We're doing 1,000 pounds of mint, more than 20,000 bottles of bourbon.
This is Brandon Fullen. He oversees all the drink orders.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of cans of Coca-Cola. We're going to be going through pallets of water every hour all across the track.
Could you give me an idea of the number of bottles?
I couldn't possibly.